What is going on, everyone? I'm Lock311 here. Today we're talking about potential weapon balance changes coming to the Rise of Iron. Now, I'm not just making this up. This is not a wish list. This information is coming from a player named Keenkolala, who is at PAX West playing the latest Rise of Iron build and testing it out there at PAX. And so basically these aren't going to be based on stats. These are going to be based on his feeling and his anecdotal experience, but I find it interesting nonetheless, and actually some of the things that he sees actually makes me happy. Now, first thing I'm going to talk about is hand cannons, and according to Keenkolala, he says that there is, or feels like there is, less bloom on hand cannons. Now, if you're unfamiliar with bloom, basically what bloom does is when, like, your first shot on a hand cannon goes straight, but after you shoot, after your first shot, it becomes a bloom on your hand cannon, meaning your second shot isn't going to go exactly where you're aiming unless you wait for that bloom to die down. So you take your first shot, it goes where you want. If you immediately follow up with the second shot as soon as possible, that second shot's not going to go where you are aiming. It's going to either go left, right, up, down. You just don't know. It adds some RNG factor to the hand cannon, which is why hand cannons haven't felt right in a while. Now, if you're a hand cannon fanatic like me, if you love your hand cannons, this is good news, because basically Keenkolala was using the future Warcult hand cannon from Rise of Iron, which is going to be the same archetype as the Ias Luna, so it's the nice archetype, but also his hand cannon had 0 perks on it. It just had True Sight, but then all the other perks on the hand cannon were not leveled up. So we didn't have any range perks or anything like that to make it feel better. And he said he was able to fire the hand cannon at max rate of fire and still get 3 headshots in a row at proper distance, which is just excellent news, especially for me, because I love my hand cannons, and I don't like that Bungie's been messing with my hand cannons. Don't like that whatsoever. He also used a pulse rifle. He said he wasn't sure if it was a Crucible or Vanguard pulse rifle. It was the Hawksaw archetype. He says it feels exactly the same, so pulse rifles probably aren't going to be touched at all. Another thing that he said that I found very interesting is he was using the Wizard 77, which was a fusion rifle from year 1, which was a very high impact, low charge rate fusion rifle. He said to him the fusion rifle felt quote-unquote squirrely, whatever that means. He also said that the bolts pulled hard when flinched, even when compensating for the recoil. And so this makes me wonder if, because obviously his fusion rifle didn't have any upgrades on it, had no perks on it whatsoever, so it might have just been that, but it kind of sounds like they're maybe tuning fusion rifles. If they nerf fusion rifles, the memes, Bungie, the memes will come back. Do not nerf fusion rifles unless you want fusion rifle memes. Come on, Bungie. He got to test out a few other weapons I'll go ahead and go over. He tested out the Dead Orbit auto rifle, which is the same archetype as the Monte Carlo. He says it sounds really cool, but it feels exactly the same, so those autos probably aren't getting touched. He also got to play with the Dead Orbit shotgun, which is, if you are a PvP player, you might want to go ahead and switch to Dead Orbit so you can get this shotgun. It is the exact same archetype as the Matador 64 from year 1, which is hailed as the best shotgun in Destiny of all time, even better than the Fellwinters. It has the lowest fire rate of all shotguns in the game, but the highest impact, even better than Fellwinters, assuming you get all the best perks on it. You'll still see the Matador 64 be used in sweats. I still cry myself to sleep every night for getting rid of my Matador 64. Don't know why I did it, but I did it. I don't know why. But honestly, I still kick myself in the butt for getting rid of that. But the new Dead Orbit shotgun in Rise of Iron is going to be that same archetype. Now, the perk trees are going to be different. You're going to have a column of 2, a column of 2, and a column of 1. And it kind of seems that, well, he says the knee pads perk is coming back. You'll be able to roll knee pads on shotguns again, but it's going to be in the same column as your range perks. So, you always want range perks on your shotgun, such as rifle barrel or reinforced barrel, but it kind of seems that if you want knee pads, you can't use the range perks. If you want range perks, you can't use knee pads. It's basically what he was getting to. So, that is definitely a balance, because, if you can get max range and knee pads on a shotgun, that is dirty. Super dirty. He also got to use the new artifact. I believe it's the one for Jolter, where there's no sprint cooldown, and he says it's absolutely amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here and say that that's probably going to be the best artifact for PvP. Being able to slide, run, Titan skate, run, slide without stopping at all, no run cooldown whatsoever. That's gonna be extremely powerful, especially for the current shotgun meta that we're in. I know I absolutely hate it when I'm like running from someone in Trials of Osiris in a 3v1, and like I try to slide around a corner and then I try to run again and I can't. I gotta wait like 3 seconds before I can sprint again. That's so incredibly frustrating. So I'm probably going to be using the Memory of Jolter pretty often, just to be able to sprint all the time and not have that cooldown. But pretty interesting information. Also keep in mind that this was a this is just a random build, not a random build, but it was a build for packs. It's not necessarily the final product. So more weapon tuning, more weapon changes could take place. I mean, they could say, hey, you know what, hand cannons, just too powerful without this cone, without this bloom. Maybe we should bring the bloom back. Who knows what Bungie's going to do? But I do find it very interesting, worth making a video about. I hope you guys enjoyed. I do want to give a plug to someone that's been helping me out with the art on my channel. If you've noticed, the past 2 videos, my thumbnails have been so much better. No longer making them in PowerPoint, actually making them in Photoshop. And that thanks goes out to my good friend Jay. He does graphic design for YouTubers, Twitter, everything you need for social media. You can go to him and he will make you some sweet and awesome art, banners, everything you could want. You can find him on Twitter at JayZrGFX, JayZrGFX. Find him on Twitter, hit him up, tell him Armlock sent you, get your art and your thumbnails done, make your channel look good. I'm an Armlock311, please like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, peace.